Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, this video, we're going to be looking at Arms Warrior and how good are they. So before I get into the video, consider Arms Warrior class fantasy. They are the calm under fire, battle-hardened veterans. They are trained to perfection and emotionless, the true warriors. And that for me translates directly to Arms Warrior gameplay in Dragonflight. They're never really overwhelmed by a situation. They have a tool to maximize what they can do in most situations, and that in itself is kind of the weapon master experience, I suppose. So arms, despite in terms of fun, arms, despite good rage regen and likely being still GCD capped or as close to it as possible, still feels quite slow, controlled, well paced. Doesn't feel like you're rushing. It doesn't feel like you're waiting really long periods of time. The rotation using the Blade Stormless build, which is what I'm playing in the footage in the background, feels very similar no matter the mob count. Whether there's 1, 2, 5, or 10 mobs, you're pretty much going to be doing roughly the same sort of thing. Deep Wounds and Rend fills your screen in terms of numbers, and you're able to keep it up very easily with Thunderclap. Lots and lots of ticks of damage, which is quite nice to see. Whilst Mortal Strike, Execute hit really hard and obviously overpower to buff that. Sweep and Strikes fitting arms perfectly with being able to cleave to two targets. And Cleave in itself being quite a hard hitting ability that does just swipe at everything. It's quite a slow pace class and spec. And if that's something that you would enjoy, maybe Arms is the class for you currently. For me, it's not actually my preferred playstyle. I prefer a little bit more furious. Does that give a hint? It's a little bit slower paced than I would personally like. But actually, I found myself being able to play it while tired or not feeling very well, or I found it was the perfect, nice, slow, and relaxed gameplay, and it is something actually I've played a little bit more since. So in terms of viability, they are currently, so looking at the numbers as of recording, they are currently 12th in Mythic passes, 11th in Heroic passes, and the highest Arms Warrior is currently 2,987 Mythic Plus score, which is the number 2 warrior. Now, quoted from his Raider IO, Arms and Fury are about the same in Mythic Plus. Now, they seem to do slightly different things and have slightly different damage profiles. Arms has seemingly better, consistent single target damage and a smoother AoE profile. Fury's a little bit more bursty in both of those scenarios. Arms seems more than viable in all content, and if it's your preferred spec and you enjoy the playstyle, it is definitely viable. It isn't passing top or smashing world number 1 keys, but it's definitely high to mid, and I have to vote it a 7 out of 10 as well. In terms of variety, in raid environments, there seems to be two builds. A bleed focused build that uses damage increasing windows to really execute those bleeds, remove them, deal the remaining damage, and hit really hard in these small windows. And an overpower slam build. Unfortunately, in raid, only the bleed build actually looks viable. Unfortunately, no one is using the other build, so while it exists and there is the potential that it could be used, if you want the best numbers, you're going to be playing the bleed build. And now in Mythic Plus, there are two builds again: a Blade Stormless build, which is what I'm playing currently, which focuses on consistent damage through sweep and slopes and cleave, and a build that uses Blade Storm to increase whirlwind and cleave damage to do extreme huge AoE damage, but very minimal single target. Anyone trying to do high raiding or keys is likely to be doing the same build. So for raiding, that's the bleed build. For Mythic Plus, that's the Blade Stormless build. And for that reason, I'm not going to give them a great score. It's going to be a 6 out of 10. It's nice that there's multiple builds, but neither of them really have any viability. You're always going to play the same sort of thing. So overall, Arms Warrior gives us a 20 out of 30, which isn't a bad score at all. Um, and like I said, it's not my preferred spec. In terms of viability, it's definitely viable. In terms of playstyle, I mean, it was really relaxing and nice to play, and I felt like I didn't have to pull extreme things or be hungry for that next pack to be able to maximize my DPS, which was really nice. And like I said, I will be playing more arms. In terms of variety, it doesn't actually really bother me because both of the specs that are currently viable are actually the specs I would choose in a perfect scenario anyway. So, all in all, it's good. And I think if anything I've said in this video appeals to you, you should definitely give Arms a go. It is very fun, it is very playable. But if you're looking for the high burst, high octane, adrenaline filled class, I don't think Arms is potentially right for you. So, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of Arms in the comment section below. More How Good Are They's coming soon. Shock, Horror, Fury, and Prot will be coming very shortly as well. And yeah, hope you guys are enjoying, and thanks for watching. Bye.